All right, let's finish up this review, numbers 6 through 10. So, the interesting thing about this problem here is that it is talking just about a randomly selected credit card holder. So, since it's just talking about one, then this problem is just really about the population. So, we do need to make sure that this population is normally distributed. Okay, and it does say that. So, then that's good. That means we have the ability, we have the right to be able to do normal model math for about one credit card holder. Okay, and so then we were wondering about that 2,500, comparing it to that mean with that standard deviation, and we wanted to go less than that, so our z-score of negative 0.41. We then did our little norm CDF from negative 99 up to that point, negative 99 up to that negative 0.41, and then there we go, 34% of credit card holders would have less than $2,500. Okay. All right, number 7, here we go. This one is similar problem, but it's asking about a random selection of 25 credit card holders and what's the probability that their average of those 25 credit card holders. Okay, so what the difference is that we now are talking about this sampling distribution, the samples, not the population of individuals. So that changes our standard deviation to be 900 divided by the square root of 25. So the standard deviation is now 180 instead of 900. So that's why the math comes out different, because it's a different standard deviation, because that samples are less varied. Remember when we drop that down, they become less varied. So there's our normal, our z-score of negative 2.06, and we norm CDF below that. Very small percent, very unlikely to find an average of 25 customers with less than $900 in credit card debt, or 2,500. Sorry, less than $2,500. All right, so this is a class of 70 students. Now, here is one where we want to know the probability that less than 30 of this sample of 50, okay? This is a situation where you have that's your p hat. You had to do 30 out of 50. So you need to watch out for that, and that's your 0.60. So there's our 0.60, that's our p hat, minus the p over the standard deviation, we get a negative 1.45, and we are going less than that. Next, we have this. So on these problems here, this one had some pretty intense percentages. Okay, so look at how detailed the percent is. It's going 3.86. So that's 0.0386. So, it makes, what that does is that makes it kind of difficult when we're finding that right there. Remember, that comes from 1 minus p. So I just did 1 minus 0.0386, and that's how I came up with that 0.961. So because they're going to 3 decimal places, 3 significant digits, than I did as well. And so there's that. It makes it quite small of a standard deviation. And we were asking about between 10 and 20 of the sample. So it is a random sample of 500. So there was a lot of numbers in this problem that you had to weed through to find the ones that applied to those different parameters. Okay, so this random sample was 500. So that means I had 2 p hats. My one p hat was 10 out of 500. The other p hat was 20 out of 500. So I had 2 z-scores, the z-score for 0.02 and the z-score for the 0.04. So there we had from negative 2.16 to positive 0.16. So I norm CDF'd with that as my lower and upper bound, 54.82%. And this last one here, we had this average price of gasoline. But then we were also asking about two different amounts. It was asking about a sample of 32 gas stations, not a single gas station, because I don't think we were told that the population was normally distributed. So we actually do not have the right to give probabilities for one single gas station. But because our sample is greater than 30, we have the right to do this, to do samples. And the question asks for a sample average between 1.85 and 1.9. So notice the new standard deviation was the 0.45 divided by the square root of n. And so have my z-scores. I got two of them. One for the 1.85 and one for the 1.90. So there are my two z-scores. I norm CDF between the lower and the upper, and I get 43.27%. All right, that is what's going on with our sampling distributions for means and proportions mixed in together. And the test will have the formulas on there for you. You are not expected to have those memorized, those formulas. Even the AP statistics students do not have to have those memorized. They are available to them on the formula chart, but we'll put them on the quiz and the tests for you. All right, good luck to you on your Unit 7 exam.